Hi guys. Okay, today we're going to talk about a couple little things about hammocks. I'm going to do a little review, actually 2 reviews, because I've been asked to do it, but I also want to talk about hammocks in general. Now, how far apart do the trees need to be for you? Well, this reflects your hang angle, okay? If the trees are too close together, you're too steep. If they're too far apart, you're too saggy. There seems to be no universal. Everybody is different, so you need to learn yours. Now for me personally, it's about 5 to 6 paces. So from this tree right here to that pine right there is roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6, and that seems to be about right for me. So in my Blackbird Haversack I carry a one wind ultralight hammock. Now I know for so long I carried my mesh hammock, and that's still a good choice. I ain't got rid of it, but I've been impressed with how light and handy this ultralight is. And it's become my go-to one in my haversack. So we're going to set this up a second and talk about it. First off, when you go to set up one, it doesn't have to be this, but a hammock. Make sure you got nothing above you. Of course, it's going to fall and be a problem. No widowmakers. Make sure the trees aren't covered with ants or something that's going to flow into your hammock and give you all kinds of headaches. And make sure there's nothing underneath you that you want to put your bare feet down if you're camping, like poison ivy, poison oak during the night, to get your old tootsies all eat up, okay? If that's good to go, and all the other things, the prevailing wind isn't going to be a problem. Getting a hammock set up is a lot like sailing a boat. Knowing which way you want to go, knowing which way the prevailing wind is, which way the sun's coming from, etc. All of those factors you got to dial in to get the most comfortable night's rest, or in this case, just a quick setup. I'm in a good position for me, and so therefore I paced it out. I know that's about how far. And after a while you can eyeball it pretty easy and know how far to go. Now this ultralight is basically the same size as their full-size hammock. It's just got much smaller packaging, and the material's a little thinner. Now they said that the weight limit on it was 250 pounds whenever we got it. And taking the straps out, that's the whole hammock right there. You can press that down even further. It's actually about the same size as my mesh hammock. But I'll insert a little insert right here while I set this up of the stress test that I did with this hammock. And here it is. Okay guys, this is the ultralight hammock in a Sasquatch stress test.
6'8", 300 pounds in the ultralight.
It works. Look at that guys. He's got room to get in and out, believe it or not.
Wow.
Cool.
Impressive.
Okay, now I've got it basically strung up. And what I want to do now is make sure that my buckles are not crossed or wrapped. Because you put it into the sleeve and then you just walk to the other side. And sometimes you can get them kind of wrapped up like this one has. So I'm going to come right here, I'm going to unwrap it so the buckle is on the top. Scoot it a little more that way because I'm not hanging in the center. I'm going to put it back on. And I double mine over to make a quick disconnect, just like that. And yes, that's way too low, but I'm going to come over here and adjust this one. Okay, now I've got my hammock hung, and make sure that it's relatively level. Now I can tell this is a little lower. That's going to be fine because I'm putting my head that way. Also, how high do you want the hammock to be? Now this is going to be really low, but there's a reason for that because I'm going to be doing a tarp review in a few minutes, and I want it low to set it up to the ground for bad weather, so I'm setting it low. Now when I go to sit down, always do this. Make sure your hammock is straightened out and it isn't twisted up or something like that. Pick up the far side and lift it up, and then back into it and sit down. Perfect. Now, as you can see, I've set this up down low, some at ground level. I can sit cross-ankled at my ground level to do whatever I want to do. Say I want to work on a craft or something. So I don't need this set terrible high. I want it low enough that I can sit like this, my feet are on the ground. Now this is a little awkward getting in and out of, I'll admit. But for what I'm doing, this is fine. Now if I was worried about critters or whatever, I could sit higher. If I want more breeze and less skeeters or less bugs, go higher, okay? Now, I'm set up this way. When I set up a quick hammock like this, it's going to be quick hook, quick hook. I already know how far apart to make it. I already have a rough idea of how far apart the buckles need to be, so it's kind of centered between that two. I know that this side is higher because I want my head a little higher. When I recline back onto it, my head will automatically be higher. And I'm going to lay diagonal in this hammock. So therefore, my feet and all will be laying flat. Okay? Now, what do I think of the ultralight hammock? Well, you just saw the test I put it through. If you're looking for a small ultralight hammock to go in your haversack, this is my choice. It gives me so many advantages. One, it's a full-size hammock. I mean, look at it, guys. It's full size. I can sleep in this thing. No problem, and I have several times already. Just kick back, relax. It's big enough to wrap over you. I'm 5'10", 185 pounds. So therefore, I got more than enough room with this. It's also got the ditty bag and all the accessories you'd find in the full-size one. It may be a little shorter and a little narrower, but Dan Lutz got into it, and he's 6'8", 300 pounds. So, hey, you know, would I recommend it for somebody who's 6'8", 300 pounds? No, I would not. But could it be done? You saw it yourself. The hammock is tough, durable. I've been using these for over a year now. No complaints whatsoever. The stitching is good. The ropes, the connections, all of it is good. I've used these hammocks a lot now. On real world camping, you know, there's pine saps got onto them. I've had stuff in my pockets when I got into them. They got a little abraded, whatever. They've held up. And so for that reason, that's why I run a one-wind hammock. The price is great. And that's one of the big things. I'm for the common man. I'm for the guy that's on a budget. And the quality of this hammock you can't get for that price. I mean, really. I've been that impressed with it. So for my haversack, it's going to be this ultralight for the foreseeable future. It's giving me all I need, plus I can easily it just doesn't have a bug net. My full-size camping one comes with the bug net. It's almost the same size hammock. And so adding those together becomes my primary camping set. Putting the tarp on it just adds gravy. I carry the little bitty poncho in my haversack that is my tarp set. And I can throw it over this for a sunshade. It will not completely cover this big hammock. But I'm looking for something. That's my next. If I can get an ultralight, really big but light tarp to cover this, that's my next step. And when I get that, I'll bring it to you. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.